Looking to trade your old bulk for some of the latest Pokemon booster boxes? Well, check ccgcastle.com. The process is very simple. Send in 1400 cards and get a brand new sealed booster box back. We ship boxes worldwide for free once we get your cards. Make sure to check video description or check ccgcastle.com for more information. Looking to grade your Pokemon cards and you don't know how to do it? Check out Ludkins Collectables and grade your Pokemon cards with zero risk. Check video description or visit ludkinscollectables.com for more. Hey, how's it going, Poke Trainers? Once again, welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. Before I start with the video, make sure to check ccgcastle.com and Ludkins Collectible just in case if you're looking for Pokemon cards or a grading service. So, in today's video, I'm gonna actually show you how the one of the most expensive decks in expanded format looks like. So it can be even more expensive than it is right now. So the concept of my deck is basically not max rarity because I don't like those hyper rare cards, and yeah, definitely I don't like them. So in today's video we'll be looking at a Trevenant BREAK deck. Trevenant BREAK deck that I decided to build for expanded format with double Lysander, so I'm definitely going to be criticizing for that. Probably, but it's okay. Mainly because I'm not running float stones. This is just reason because I don't have so far double Guzma full art. I don't even have a single Guzma full art yet. I'm definitely looking forward to find at least one of them. Two of them would be nice just for the expanded format, because in the standard format I'm not playing with max rarity deck. So let's take a look at the deck list. So I'm running 4 copies of Phantom, of course. Okay, let's just give me a second so I can do something. All right. Okay, so I'm running 4 copies of Phantom. So this is the Phantom with a Ascension. So just in case if you're not familiar with the Phantom with Ascension, it's a pretty cool card because if you have Dimension Wally in play, and if you go second at your turn 1, you can basically use Ascension for free and evolve without attaching energy cards. So 4 copies of Phantom, of course, as well as 4 copies of Trevenant with that Forest Curse. So as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent cannot play item cards. The good thing about attack is the fact that you can also use Tree Slam, hit for 60, and spread 20 to 2 of your opponent benched Pokemons. And of course, in addition to that, I'm running 3 copies of Trevenant BREAK, 160 HP Pokemon. If you're not familiar with Trevenant BREAK, it's a very powerful card, to be honest. For 1 energy, for 1 Psychic Energy, if there is, of course, Dimension Wall in play, this Pokemon will put 3 damage counters to all of your opponent Pokemons in play. Of course, Giratina promo with that super cool ability can simply turn off your Silent Fear and your Trevenant BREAK, but of course this is the reason why some other Pokemons will help in those matchups. Of course, as well, I'm running 1 copy of Necrozma GX because Black Ray GX is just a way too good attack to not to be used. In my opinion, this is the reason why I decided to take 1 Necrozma GX. That Black Ray GX can simply hit for 100 all of your opponent EX or GX Pokemons in play, which can be deadly for your opponent just because a couple more Silent Fears can easily end the game, or even 1 Black Ray can end the game from nowhere. In addition to that, I'm running also 1 copy of Jirachi with that Stellar Radiance. It's a good card and it can be searched by the level ball, so this is the reason why I decided to go with 1 Jirachi and 1 Tapu Lele as well with that Wonder Tag. I mean, Tapu Lele can also be good for the attack. It's a little bit harder to get knockout by your opponent Pokemons for the 1-hit knockout, and it can be searched only by the level ball, unfortunately, or maybe a repeat ball if you already have Tapu Lele. I mean, you can also pull him with a Nest Ball, but if you play Nest Ball, you simply need to bench him immediately, so you cannot use the ability. And of course, 2 copies of Shaymin EX for the draw support, you know, just in case if we're stuck without anything, so we can find something with the Shaymaniacs. And that's pretty much all for the Pokemon list, as you can see right here. Unfortunately, Trevenants are not reverse foils, so that's just if you didn't notice so far. I also decided to go with one copy of the Rescue Stretcher because I kind of like it. With the Rescue Stretcher, I can recover one Pokemon from my discard pile and grab it into my hand. In some cases, this can be pretty good because I can recover either way Jirachi or maybe Tapu Lele and simply put it back into my hand if I was forced to discard those cards. Or maybe even just recover one of those Phantoms or Trevenant BREAK in some specific moment. It's a good card, as well as the Super Road, because Super Road can also recycle some of the Pokemons from the discard pile, as well as those basic energy cards. And in addition to that, okay, let's just first say that I'm running also one copy of Starling Megaphone because it's expanded format. And in expanded format, we can use Starling Megaphone Advantage, as well as one copy of the Dowsing Machine for the A spec, because running Dowsing Machine in Trevenant makes a lot of sense, because you can have one extra trainer card of any of those cards that you can find on the list, which is pretty cool. In order to play Dowsing Machine, of course, you first need to discard 2 cards from your hand. If you cannot do that, unfortunately, you can't play Dowsing Machine. 4 copies of those beautiful Dimension Wallies are also on my deck list. As long as we have Dimension Wall in play, we can attack for 1 energy less, which is cool. Of course, since we play expanded format, we need some Versus Seekers as well. So I'm running 4 copies of Versus Seeker in this build. And basically, Versus Seeker can pretty much easily grab any supporter card from a discard pile, so I can just simply use it and play it. In addition to 4 Versus Seekers, I'm running one of the most expensive cards in Pokemon TCG, 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Unfortunately, those Ultra Balls are actually reprinted, so they were a little bit less than the original Ultra Balls from the Plasma Freeze. Before Pokemon Company actually say that they will reprint Ultra Balls in the Sun and Moon, the original Ultra Ball was around $200 a piece, if I'm not wrong, so that was definitely a very high amount. Of course, it's not the most expensive card, but definitely from the player perspective, if you're looking for the standard and expanded format, and for the current era TCG, it's definitely the most expensive card. Of course, if we don't count those Rayquaza Star, Gold Stars, because they are also playable in some certain formats and they cost a tons of money. In addition to those Ultra Balls, I'm also running 1 copy of Level Ball. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, basically with the Level Ball, I can simply search myself for the Jirachi, and turn 1 Jirachi for Wally can simply be pretty good. And I can just grab myself Wally and evolve my Phantom into Trevenant and lock my opponent from the turn 1. Turn 2, I can simply find Trevenant BREAK and start to spread damage around the board. So that's pretty much how this deck should work. 1 copy of Enhanced Hammer as well. So with Enhanced Hammer, you know, we can simply knock one of our opponent's special energies. And I decided just to go with Enhanced Hammer. Unfortunately, without extra space. For some other cards like Xerosic, for example, or for maybe Team Flare Grunt. This is because I'm running also 4 copies of a Crushing Hammer. So I guess I can put those Crushing Hammers right here. If you can see, those are actual league promo. I kind of like those new Crushing Hammer arts. Actually, they are not new. These are actually, I think, from the generation. We again get in the Sun and Moon base set, if I'm not wrong, Crushing Hammers again, so they reprinted them as well. So yeah, pretty much 4 Crushing Hammer. If you get lucky with the coin flip, you can simply knock one of your opponent energies from play. So right now we are looking for the supporter cards. I'm running 2 copies of Wally. Basically, Wally can search your deck for 1 Pokemon that evolves from your Pokemon that you actually select, and then you can simply search your deck for the evolution Pokemon, put it onto that Pokemon. So pretty cool. 2 copies of Lysander, so yeah, please don't criticize me for the Lysanders. This is just because I still didn't find full art Guzmas. I still don't have them in my personal collection, and that's pretty much the reason why I'm running 2 Lysanders. To be honest, in this deck, Guzma is a little bit better, just because if you're stuck in the front with Necrozma, you can always play Guzma to one of your opponent Pokemons. You don't need to play energy to Necrozma. You can simply just switch back to your Trevenant BREAK and then just force your opponent to put in the active position something else, which is pretty cool. But even with the Lysander, we can just be pretty fine, just because sometimes we really don't want to play Guzma, especially if we don't have a way to retreat. So Lysander sometimes might be better. So right now we are looking on those Drow supporters. I'm running 4 copies of Professor Juniper, my favorite full art trainer, definitely Professor Juniper, because it looks just cool and it's a little bit expensive than a... It costs a little bit more than Professor Sigma. I think Professor Sigma right now is around 22, 24 bucks a piece. Professor Juniper was around 40. Right now it's around 35, 30 range, depending what you're looking for. But yeah, they actually cost me around 18 bucks a piece. And I think I got playset for like 60, 65, something in that range. And definitely they worth right now double the money. So I actually decided to pick them when Sycamore was released, because then a lot of Pokemon trainers decided just to get rid of them. And of course, 3 copies of N. So yeah, N is a very broken card, and is a very powerful card in expanded format, and can be very strong against your opponent, especially in the late game. Speaking about all of those trainer cards, we are right now done with the supporter cards. As you can see, I'm not running any other disruptive supporter like Xerosic or Team Flare Grant. Well, yeah, this is just because I decided to go with 1 copy of Level Ball, and basically to add that Jirachi, of course, in this deck list. In addition to that, I'm running 5 copies of basic psychic energies. These energies are not the most expensive energies that you can find on the market. They actually probably worth around $1 a piece, maybe $2 a piece. But I kind of like those play Pokemon. I actually like play Pokemon cards, to be honest. So I'm also running 3 copies of double colorless energies. So these are also a player reward DCEs. Just in case if you wonder why I'm running double colorless energies, well, double colorless energy can easily be put on the Necrozma for that Necrozma Black Ray GX attack. They can also be attached to the Trevenant, so we can use that Tree Slam for 60-20-20. So it makes a lot of sense. And the last 3 cards are actually non-reverse foil, because I don't have them. I actually ordered some of the cards from the Trolling Toad, but I never get them, and I'm actually very mad because of that. But yeah, the last 3 cards in this deck list are actually Mystery Energy cards, and that's pretty much it. That will conclude this deck to the 60 cards in total. And this is how one of the most expensive decks in the expanded format looks, and also one of the best and strongest decks in the expanded format. Of course, this is not the perfect list, perfect Trevenant BREAK list. Some people will definitely say that you don't need Jirachi. Some people will say that Jirachi is a good tech in the Trevenant, especially if you play Level Ball. To be honest, if you really want more consistency, in my opinion, this deck can be even a little bit better, because we can always tag 2 copies of Level Balls, and we can just knock 1 Enhanced Hammer, and we can also remove those Crushing Hammers, for example, and we can simply tag maybe 1 Xerosic and 1 Team Flare Grant, and we can maybe even find some space for 3 Bursting Balloons, and on that way we can even have more damage counters around the board, which can be even a little bit better and stronger, dependent on the matchup. In some certain matchups, Crushing Hammer will be better. In some not. It really depends if you get lucky with the coins. That's pretty much all. So I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this deck. So if you have any questions, make sure to leave comments below. Make sure to check CCG Castle and LudkinsCollectables.com if you're looking to buy any of these cards, or maybe send your own cards to the PSA grading service. So once again, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. We will see you in the next video. So goodbye.